Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees and pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our Ramayana study session. Let's start with the prayers. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatharubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giring Yadkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. So thank you devotees for joining in for our Ramayana study session. We are on a very interesting part of Ramayana. We are almost going to complete Aranyakand. Let's see if we complete it today. And then next Wednesday, we'll start with Kishkinda Kand. So we are on that particular phase where, Marichi is killed, right? Maricha is killed by Lord Ram and he fakes the voice of Lord Ram saying, Lakshmana, Sita, like that. And then Sita is requesting Lakshmana to go in search of Lord Ram. And, Sita is very, very concerned for Lord Ram. And that is the reason, because Lakshmana was not going, because Lakshmana was very confident, nothing can harm Lord Ram. But then yet, Sita, because of her anxiety and her love and her devotion for Lord Ram, she was saying things which very much hurt Lakshman. Right? All of this was caused because of their love and devotion for Lord Ram, isn't it? So Lakshmana left. Of course, this book doesn't talk about the Lakshman Rekha, but generally the acharyas explain that Lakshmana, when he leaves, hearing the words of Mother Sita, he actually puts a Lakshman Rekha, which is kind of protection for Sita Devi before he leaves. Just to satisfy Mother Sita, he goes to look for Lord Ram, and then that Ravana comes in disguise and abducts Mother Sita, and Jatayu, he gives his entire life because he simply wants to do his best in serving Lord, right? And so we were discussing yesterday how it is not important to be powerful, it's not important to be resourceful, it's not important to be intelligent, but it is very, very important to have this desire to serve Guru and Gauranga to the best of our capacity. The Lord is not impressed by our abilities to memorize, our abilities to intelligently think, or our ability to be powerful, to fight and win battles. but the Lord is extremely pleased by our desire to serve him, right? That's why Krishna is called Bhava Grahi Janardana, right? So he knows what is there in our heart, what is our intention. Everything else belongs to the Lord. But if we simply have this desire to serve, satisfy, and please the Lord will give us so much resources, wealth, intelligence, strength, power, and whatnot, whatever is required for us to fulfill this desire to serve Guru and Gauranga. So in that we also discussed how Jatayu gave up his life, and the Lord Ram personally did the final rites for Jatayu, that which he could not even do for his own father, he could do for Jatayu, right? Honoring Jatayu's desire to even die and lay down his life and surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ram, like that. So, all right, so Rama and Lakshmana come back, and then they find that Mother Sita is not there. So, let's see how Krishna Dharmadas Prabhu takes this forward. The very interesting study of Ramayana, and very, very wonderful lessons to learn from this study of Ramayana. Okay, Devil Mataji's hand is up. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. He told them we are on the last stage of chapter number 9. Then we'll move on to chapter number 10. From 11 onwards is Kishkinta Kand. So we'll try to complete chapter 10 today, Krishna willing. Otherwise, we'll do it on next Wednesday. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. He told them to keep her in his beautiful gardens, which were filled with trees laden with fruits and flowers. They should guard her carefully and continue to inform her of Ravana's power and glory. Gradually, her mind would change. Otherwise, she would be put to death. Ravana left in anger, his footsteps causing the earth to vibrate. Placed in the midst of a grove of trees, Sita fell weeping to the ground. She felt her limbs overpowered with grief and could find no peace of mind. Threatened by the Rakshasa woman, who had misshapen faces and disformed figures, she was like a young deer fallen into the clutches of tigresses. With her mind wrapped in thought of Rama, she fell unconscious, oppressed by fear and sorrow.
Hare Krishna. So, Mataji, you can continue to read. I just wanted to mention here that what is the current state is, Ravana is kidnapping Maya Sita, and he's reached this Ashoka Vatika, right, where she's surrounded by all the Rakshasa women, and he tells the Rakshasa woman to take care of Sita very nicely, to fulfill all her needs and her likes. So that somehow or the other she wants Sita to say, yes, okay, I will marry you and accept you, right? So in that way, Ravana is completely in his sense gratification, right? So people who are very passionate, materialistic, what do? They do anything and everything just to fulfill their means. And Ravana is a typical example of how lust drives even a very powerful person down to the greatest of misfortune. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Chapter number 10.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Chapter number 10, Rama's terrible discovery. Rama raced towards his hermitage. He was filled with foreboding. As he crashed through the bushes, he heard a jackal's fierce yell behind him. Recognizing the evil omen, he became even more anxious. Had Sita been devoured by Rakshasas, Lakshman must have left her when he heard Maricha's cry. Sita would have insisted upon it. The Rakshasas had plotted successfully. Surely they had now taken Sita. Rama saw other frightening omens, and his mind became even more distressed. As he rushed through the forest, he suddenly saw Lakshman coming towards him. Rama ran to him and took hold of his hand. He spoke sternly, "My dear brother, what have you done? Why have you abandoned the helpless Sita? Without doubt, she is now dead or stolen by the Rakshasas." Rama pointed out to Lakshman the various omens. He told him about Maricha's trickery. It was now obvious the Rakshasas had arranged everything so that they could abduct Sita. Tears flowed from Rama's eyes as he thought of his wife. If she were killed, he would give up his own life. Desperately, he asked Lakshman, "Did you fail to protect her? Where is that gentle lady who willingly gave up every happiness to follow me here? Where is Sita now? You should know what I cannot live without her for even a moment." Feeling dispirited, Lakshman replied, "I did not leave Sita willingly. Urged by her strong and painful words, I came looking for you. She would by no means allow me to stay with her. Forgive me, my lord." Lakshman explained everything to Rama, how he had tried to convince Sita of Rama's invincibility, how she had accused him of having ulterior motives, but Rama only became angry and reprimanded him. Why had he taken Sita's words seriously when she was overwhelmed by sentiment? Why had he allowed himself to fall prey to anger? He had failed to carry out Rama's order. Now they would surely meet calamity. Rama turned and continued to run towards his hermitage, his mind fixed on Sita. As Rama ran, he felt a tremor run through his limbs. His left eye throbbed violently. Greatly perturbed by these baleful omens, Rama crashed through the forest. He seemed almost to fly, oblivious of creepers and bushes which lashed him. Breaking into the clearing where he had his hermitage, he ran about wildly looking for Sita. He called her name again and again, but on finding no sign of her, his heart sank. Rama examined his hut and the surrounding grounds closely. It resembled a lotus flower blighted by winter and deprived of its charm. The trees seemed to cry as they creaked in the wind. The flowers appeared faded and dull. Deer and birds were restless and ill at ease. Rama saw blades of kushagrass scattered around. Along with flower petals fallen from Sita's garland, he wailed loudly. Surely Sita has been snatched away, or perhaps she lies dead somewhere, or has she gone out playfully, hiding now in sport? Rama searched frantically, but Sita was nowhere to be found. He feared the worst. This was surely the work of the Rakshasas. Even now, Sita must be in their clutches. Rama imagined Sita as she was carried away. She must have cried out for him in plaintive tones as she was borne upwards. Her beautiful face, streaked with tears, fears, would have gripped that timid princess. Perhaps at that very moment she was being devoured by demons who were cutting open her soft neck and drinking her blood. As Rama ran from tree to tree, his eyes red from sorrow, he appeared almost crazy. He questioned the trees, O Kadamba, O Bilva, O Arjuna tree, where is Janaka's frail daughter? Is she alive or not? In the madness of grief, he spoke to animals, the river, the sky, and the earth itself, but they all remained silent, heightening Rama's anguish. The forest and river deities, remembering Ravana's frightful form, were petrified with fear and could make no reply. As Rama gazed around, it seemed to him that he saw Sita in the sights of the forest. The yellow flowers looked like her silk garment. The creepers flowing in the wind became her limbs. Rama thought he saw his beloved wife everywhere. He ran towards her, crying, but found only the desolate and echoing forest. Rama rebuked himself for leaving Sita. What would he say to Kaushalya? How could he even look at Janaka, that ever truthful monarch? Rama felt as if he would die. But then, what would his father say upon seeing him arrived in heaven, killed by grief? Surely the emperor would reproach him for becoming a liar by not completing the term of his exile. Rama lamented piteously. I shall never return to Ayodhya. Kaikai may rejoice her purpose fulfilled. O Lakshman, you should embrace Bharata and tell him to long rule over this wide earth, for Rama is no more. Without Sita, I shall not accept even heaven. What then of this world? With Sita's death has come mine. For failing to protect that gentle princess, I shall reach unending regions of hell. Rama fell weeping to the ground. He censured himself in many ways. Surely this awful misfortune was a result of sinful acts performed in a past life. It was undoubtedly his destiny. Such suffering, the loss of the kingdom, separation from his loved ones, the king's death, and now Sita's loss, could only have been caused by his own past evil deeds. Rama tossed about in pain. Seeing Rama's agony, Lakshman, himself gripped by despondency, approached his brother and said, Do not give way to despair, O mighty prince. Men of your caliber are never bewildered by even the greatest disaster. We shall yet find Sita. She cannot be far away. It is less than an hour since I left her. Let us continue our search. Rama composed himself and got up. He sighed and gazed about, wondering which way to go. As he looked at the seat outside his hut, he remembered how he had sat there with Sita by his side, how they had talked and laughed together, how she had teased him, pretending to be hurt by his words, or cajoling him to fetch a particular flower from deep in the woods. As he thought of his lotus-eyed wife, Rama's grief rose in repeated waves. A couple of large deer came close to the brothers. Rama asked if they had seen Sita. The deer then stood with their heads pointed towards the south. Rama and Lakshman took that as a clue and sped off in that direction. They soon came upon a trail of flowers fallen on the ground. Rama dropped to his knees and picked up the petals. They were from the braid on Sita's hair. He cried out in a resounding voice, Sita, Sita. The two brothers kept running. Suddenly they saw enormous footprints, probably of a Rakshasa. Near to it were Sita's footprints, going here and there, as she evidently ran in fear. As they looked about, they found a huge bow lying in pieces, along with many fearsome arrows tipped with blue steel barbs. A chariot lay smashed there, still yoked to great mules with goblin heads, some of which had been torn off in what was obviously a terrible fight. The headless body of the charioteer still sat holding the reins and whip. There were strands of gold fallen from Sita's ornaments, along with a crushed garland. Rama pointed to the ground. See here, the many drops of blood. Look at these shattered weapons, and this mighty bow encrusted with pearls and gems, whose chariot is this, with its hundred-ribbed canopy torn apart. Look over there, glowing golden armor studded with emeralds and rubies. All these items could only belong to gods or demons. Rama fell to the ground, wailing piteously. O Lakshman, it is clear that Sita is dead. Here at this place, two Rakshasas fought for her sake. The victor would surely have consumed my darling wife. Alas, I am lost. Lakshman carefully examined the scene. There had obviously been an enormous encounter between two very powerful beings. Perhaps Rama was right. But from the footprints, there did not appear to be more than one Rakshasa. Lakshman felt that somehow Sita was still living. He reassured Rama, telling him to take heart, for Sita would surely soon be recovered. As he checked his grief, Rama felt consumed by anger. The corners of his eyes turned coppery as he stood holding his bow. The Rakshasa race will soon be extinct. They have borne away Sita even as she practiced virtue. How did the gods stand by and allow this to happen? Do they not fear my wrath? Do they think I am powerless? For too long I have been mild and compassionate. Today the world will see a different Rama. Rama
Hare
roared,
Krishna.
giving when Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Dhanurpanam.
Thank you. Dandavat Pranam. So this is very, very interesting, right? How could the Supreme Personality of Godhead get swayed by emotions, of just losing his wife, running behind trees, right? So we think, how can, this is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does the Supreme Personality of Godhead says? Matra sparsha sukaunteya sitoshna sukadukada agama payano nitya stamsiti kshashva bharata. Right? Krishna is not different from Ram, isn't it? Of course, Krishna has got these four additional qualities by which he exchanges loving rasas with his devotees, which are much more intimate than Lord Ram. But then he is a supreme Lord. How can the Lord behave like this? Right? So we should understand, as Acharya has explained, the Lord and the devotees are not emotionless creatures, right? I remember one of Prabhupada's disciples, I believe. No. Yeah, so I think he was disciple in Sampati Sampradaya, whatever. The point is, he came and told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I lost my wife yesterday evening. I don't have any feelings for her. I don't feel sad. I think I am eligible to take sannyas. Why? Because I have no feelings for her. Like that he told. Prabhupada said, you don't have any emotions for your own wife who has served you so long throughout her life. You don't have any emotions for her. How would you have emotions for the people whom you would have to serve as a sannyasi? Right? How will you develop love for them? How would you develop compassion for them? How would you develop this attitude to serve them if you're so ungrateful? You don't have emotions for your own wife, right, who has just passed away, and you're coming and you wanting to take sannyas. How will you develop the titikshva karunika suhrada sarvadehinam, right? Because a devotee always feels separation. Whenever a devotee feels separation from the Lord, sometimes a devotee feels separation from the devotees, right? But they are not emotionless, right? But they always have the Lord in the center of whatever they are doing. But they, of course, feel emotions. They do feel separation, right? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was crying in separation from Lord Shri Krishna, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the mood of Srimati Radharani. So here we see Lord Ram is running behind the trees, running behind the chariot, running behind the broken chariot, and he's crying for Sita because he has genuine love for Sita, because Sita has done so much services for Lord Ram and Sita is his Ardhangini. Right? So in that way, but even in Prabhupada also mentions in the Bhagavad Gita purport that Arjuna, right, when he sees Ratam Stapayame Achyuta, right, Arjuna tells Krishna, please keep my chariot in front of both the armies. There he goes and sees Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Bhishma Pitamaha, and he says, I cannot fight them. They are my grandfathers, they are my teachers. I'm not going to fight them. Right? And Prabhupada mentions in that purport. I always love this section of the purport because Prabhupada says it is a quality of a devotee to be compassionate. A devotee does not want to kill others for his own sense gratification just because he wants to get his own kingdom. Arjuna does not want to fight with his relatives. And then later on in two, three more purports, Prabhupada explains that the Gandiva is slipping out Arjuna's arm, right? And Arjuna is filled with, his lips are quivering and he does not want to fight. He says, oh, Krishna, I will not fight. And he puts down the Gandiva bow. And that purport, Prabhupada says, Arjuna is filled with material compassion. He is, identifying himself with his body. He is identifying that all of his relatives, right? He's identifying them as his relatives and he does not want to establish dharma, which is his duty. Right? So we can have emotions, we will feel separation, we will have moments of despair, we will have moments where we are not able to do anything, we're not able to focus. Yes, everything is, that is the way the material world is. But where is the distinction between a devotee and an ordinary person? A devotee does not forsake his dharma in all situations. A devotee performs his swadharma in service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead at all times, whether of happiness or of distress. So when Krishna says, Matras Purushastu Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada Agama paino anityastam stitikshashva bharata. Titikshva, tolerance. Krishna says, you tolerate situations of happiness and distress and continue perform your duty. Krishna does not say, don't cry for your loved ones, don't have any love for anybody in this world. No, Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita, I am the father. So we need to develop that love. And what do sannyasis do? They travel all around the world, taking so much of hardships. And Prabhupada himself traveled, taking the Jaladuta and went to Boston. Why would he do that? Because he had so much of compassion for all the people in the world. Because Vasudeva Kutumbakam, everybody is in this family of the Lord, but we've forgotten the Lord. And Prabhupada, in all his compassion, wanted to give Krishna to each and every individual in this world. That is compassion. That is love. Right? And it was not that Prabhupada was given a golden chariot. Of course, he was given a golden chariot and a golden house, Bhaktivedanta manor, later in the day. But when he had nothing also, right, what did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada tried his best. He stayed in Radha Damodar temple. He wrote the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's all he had. And everybody whom he met, he would just say, do you have any contacts in America? I want to go there. I want to preach. Because the words of his spiritual master were ringing in his ears and his heart at all times. That's whatever little we have. If you simply have the desire to please Guru and Gauranga, then everything will be blessed. Right? And of course, Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee of the Lord. He was a Senapati Bhakta who was destined to take Krishna consciousness all over the world, to fulfill the prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But even in our very limited capacity also, if we simply have the desire that I want to fulfill the instructions of my Guru, right? His Holiness Japa Swami Maharaj says that I have so many instructions from Prabhupada. I request all my disciples to kindly help me distribute books, read Srila Prabhupada's books daily, do these various courses. I myself am doing Bhakti Sarvabhauma. So please do all these courses for the pleasure of Prabhupada. So we simply follow the instructions. If we have that desire in our heart, then we will get the intelligence, we will get the resources, we will get the wealth, we will get whatever it is required to fulfill the desire of our gurus, right? Everything we will get. But what is one thing that we need to have on our own? It is simply the desire to serve Guru and Gauranga. And we need to have that love for our Guru. We need to have the devotion towards our Guru. Otherwise, how would we serve? Right? If you don't have any emotions, if you are so hard-hearted, then everything Jagat Mithya, I don't believe in anything of this world is temporary. Yes, this world is temporary, but we want to develop emotions for Krishna. How can we develop love for Krishna when we cannot love all of those people who have even brought us to Krishna consciousness, who are helping us sustain in Krishna consciousness, our Shiksha Gurus, our Diksha Guru, our community of devotees who are enabling us to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. If we don't have love for them, if we don't feel separation from them, then our heart is hard like stone, right? And then what do we understand? If our heart is like that also, there is hope. Why? Because continuously if we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, right? The more our heart is like stone means our heart is gripped with Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And what is the way to come out of that? Is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The more we realize my heart is like a stone, I don't have any love for Krishna, the more number of rounds we need to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Wanting to develop that mood of service, wanting to become an instrument in the hands of our gurus to just for their pleasure, not for anything else. Just by pleasing them, we will please Krishna, right? So here we see Rama is having, these emotions for Sita, right? Because of course Rama is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Sita is the Ladini potency, the internal pleasure potency of Lord Ram, right? But Lord is also teaching us. The Lord is supreme personality of Godhead. He is the Parama Purusha. He is also having emotions. He is also having, that loving reciprocation, not only with Sita Devi, but with everybody according to each of our rasas, right? The 5 rasas that we spoke about, the Shanta rasa, the Dasya rasa, the Sakya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Madhurya rasa, right? So in that, as we surrender to the Lord will reciprocate with us much more than what we can serve the Lord, right? So in this way we understand the Lord Ram also is saying that he is also a person, but he is a supreme personality of Godhead. So like that. So we see here now when Lord Ram finds out about Jatayu, having given up his life, and they will find that, Jatayu will be still be alive. He'll be holding his life to be able to tell Lord Ram in which direction, right, Sita Devi was taken and who took him, right. So in that way, when he gives up his life, then Lord Ram gives his entire blessings and performs the final rites for Jatayu. So this is the loving reciprocation between the Lord and his pure devotees. So we should not think that, we should become emotionless. We want to develop the right emotion, keeping Lord Krishna in the center. So it's not that we develop emotions for all the people around us and we want to serve them. No. If we simply keep Lord Krishna in the center of whatever we do, if will this please my Guru, will this please Krishna, we don't know what pleases Krishna, will this please my Guru, will this make him happy, right? If that is the yardstick for our decisions, we cannot go wrong. All right, let's quickly go ahead. I wanted to complete this, what do you call, this Aranyakand, but looks like we will not. But it's okay. There's no hurry. We can do it next Wednesday also. Who's reading next? Karpavali Mataji, go ahead. Rama roared, giving vent to his anger. Go ahead.
Okay, Krishna Dandatana Mataji. Rama roared, giving vent to his anger. He would fill the heavens with his missiles. With his weapons, he would annihilate the entire creation. All living beings would find themselves oppressed as he discharged endless flaming arrows. The planets would be brought to the standstill, the sun obscured, and the moon brought down from the sky. The mountains would lie crushed to a powder, and the oceans would be dried up. If the gods did not bring back Sita, they would find no shelter anywhere in the universe. All the worlds would be torn into pieces by Rama's arrows. Nothing would remain. A blazing fire would range through all the quarters, leaving total devastation in its wake. Rama tightened his clothes, his lips trembled, and he pressed them against his teeth. He looked like Shiva, intent upon the destruction of the universe at the end of an age. Taking from his quiver a dreadful looking arrow, he placed it upon his bow. Today I shall not be checked by conciliation or force. See now, dear Lakshman, as I bring down the gods from heaven. Lakshman grabbed hold of Rama's arm and stopped him from releasing his arrow. With palms joined, he spoke gently to infuriated Rama. You have always been dedicated to the good of all beings. Do not abandon your nature today. O Rama, do not be swayed by anger. You should not destroy the world for one person's offense. Lords of this world are always just in their punishment. Therefore, display your forbearance, for it is as deep as that of the earth itself. Be calm and consider the situation with care. Lakshman pointed out that they could see only the footprints of a single Rakshasa. It appeared that someone had fought against the demon probably to protect Sita. Whoever had abducted Sita was obviously possessed of great power. Perhaps no one was able to prevent the kidnapping. After all, who would approve of the destruction or kidnapping of Rama's spouse? The gods and Gandharvas, the rivers, seas, mountains, and indeed all living beings were not capable of giving offense to Rama any more than the priest at a sacrifice could offend the person for whom they were performing the ritual. Rama felt slightly pacified as Lakshman continued. Let us seek out the assistance of great sages. With me by your side, we shall search the whole earth with all its mountains and forests. If we still do not find Sita, we shall go to the depths of the ocean and up to the realms of God. O Rama, we shall not rest until we find your beloved wife. Lakshman suggested that if still they did not find Sita, then Rama could not let loose his venomous missiles upon the world. But first, he should control his anger and seek his wife through peaceful means. Otherwise, what example would he set for the world if the earth's ruler immediately resorted to violence when under due stress? Then what could an ordinary men do? Could they be expected to exercise any control when in distress in this world? Calamities visited everyone in due course of time, but they also disappeared again. Happiness and distress follow one another in swift succession. One should not give way to either. Even the gods were subject to suffering. One should neither rejoice nor grieve for material things, but with a peaceful mind carry out one's duties. This was the path to everlasting happiness. Lakshman looked into Rama's eyes. O Rama, you have often instructed me in this way. Indeed, who can teach you, even if he be Pragasbari himself? I am only trying to now to awaken your intelligence, which has been dulled by grief. Dear brother, people like you do not give way to grief even when faced with gravest perils. Therefore, spare the worlds. Seek out only the sinful adversary who has stolen Sita. Rama put down his bow and replaced his arrow in his quiver. He was moved by his brother's beautifully worded advice. Controlling his anger, he thanked Lakshman and asked him what they should do next. Where should they begin to look? The two princes continued to walk south, discussing what to do. Soon they came through they came upon Jatayu lying upon the ground. Seeing him from distance, a mountainous bird drenched in blood. The Rama explained, Lakshman, here's a Rakshasa in the disguise of a bird. Surely this beast was as devout Sita. I shall make short work of it with my fiery arrows. Rama fitted a razor-headed arrow to his bow and bounded toward Jatai. But as soon as he recognized the great bird, he lowered his weapon. Jatai, close to death, saw Rama coming and raised his head. Vomiting blood, he spoke in strained voice, O Rama, the godly Sita, and indeed my life have both been snatched away by Ravana. I flew to her assistance and fought with the demon. Although I smashed his chariot and killed his horses, I was finally cut down by him. Chatai then
Hare Krishna.
described what had
Mataji.
Thank you,
Sudha
ma'am.
Mataji, continue. Jatayu then described what had taken place.
Hare Krishna Mataji pranams. Jatayu then described what had taken place. Upon hearing his story, Rama fell weeping to the ground. He embraced Jatayu and stroked his head. In great pain, Rama cried out, Alas, who is more unfortunate than I? My sovereignty is lost. I am exiled. My wife is stolen, and now my father's friend lies mortally wounded, having tried his best to help me. Rama questioned Jatayu, where did Ravana take Sita? What did she say as she was being dragged away? How powerful was the Rakshasa and where was his abode? Rama spoke widely in a tearful voice. Jatayu looked at him fondly. Speaking in barely a whisper, he replied, The demon conjured up a storm as he flew in the sky. As I contented with him, I soon became exhausted, being old and worn out. He then looped off my wings. He sped away with his face pointing south. The bird lay gasping. He reassured Rama that Sita would soon be found. The Rakshasa had kidnapped her at an hour which was favorable for her return. Although he knew it not, Jatayu said it was the Vinda hour. According to a scripture, a treasure lost during that time is again recovered. Jatayu, Jatayu told Rama that Ravana was the son of the sage Vishrava and the half brother of Kuvera. Although he was immensely powerful, Rama would soon slay him. Jatayu was sure of it. As the old bird spoke, he felt his life departing. Blood flowing continuously from his mouth, he looked at Rama with tears in his eyes. Repeating Rama's name over and over, Jatayu gradually became silent. His head fell to the ground and his body slumped back. Rama stood with folded hands, looking at his father's dear friend. He cried out in anguish, Speak more, O noble bird, speak more. But Jatayu was dead. Rama gazed at him sorrowfully. Turning to Lakshman, he said, Alas, this bird has laid down his life for my sake, dear brother. It is clear that valiant souls like who practice piety and virtue are found even in the lower species of life and not just among humans. The pain of seeing this vulture's death afflicts me as much as that caused by Sita's loss. Rama considered Jatayu to be as worthy of his worship as Dasharatha. He asked Lakshman to fetch logs so that they could build a funeral pyre. Rama looked at the bird and said, You'll attain unsurpassed realms of happiness, O king of birds. Never again will you take birth in this mortal world of pain and suffering. The brothers the brothers placed Jatayu on the wood pile and set it alight. Rama personally recited the sacred mantras and performed the ritual, cremating Jatayu as he would his own relative. Both brothers then went to the Godavari and after bathing in the river, offered its sacred water to Jatayu's departed soul. When the ritual was complete, Rama and Lakshman felt pleased knowing that Jatayu had gone to divine regions of unending happiness. They fixed their minds on recovering Sita. Going in a southerly direction, they entered the deep forest, appearing like Vishnu and Indra, going out to encounter the Asuras. Lakshman went ahead, wielding his long sword and hewing down the shrubs and creepers that blocked their progress. The forest was trackless and difficult to traverse, but the brothers moved swiftly. Distressed and eager to find Sita, they looked on all sides but saw only the dense forest. Lions roared and birds of prey screamed above them. Thick darkness enveloped them as they penetrated deeply into the jungle. As they moved ahead vigorously and without fear, they began to perceive evil omens. Rama's left arm throbbed, and his mind became disturbed. Jackals howled, and crows emitted shrill cries. Rama said, "Be wary, O Lakshman. These signs definitely indicate some imminent danger." Even as he spoke, a loud voice suddenly resounded from ahead of them. It was deafening and it filled the four quarters. Rama and Lakshman, with swords in hand, ran towards the sound. Here must be the demon responsible for taking Sita. They would soon dispatch him. Perhaps Sita was still there. The brothers raced ahead. They suddenly broke into a clearing and saw a colossal Rakshasa seated there. Taller than the surrounding trees, the demon looked like a mountain peak. He had no neck or head, and his huge mouth was in his belly. The demon was dark blue in color and covered all over with sharp bristling hair. At the top of his body was a single fearful eye which blazed like fire. His long pointed tongue darted in and out, licking his lips. He had arms 8 miles long, and they drew toward him all kinds of animals. As Rama and Lakshman looked on, the Rakshasas devoured bears, tigers, and deer, which he crammed into his gaping mouth. The brothers saw the Rakshasa from a distance of a mile. They looked in amazement. As they stood there, the demon saw them and reached out with his two arms, which snaked about like two enormous creepers. Tightly grasping both brothers, he lifted them high above the ground. Lakshman cried out to Rama, "Free yourself, O Rama, leave me as an offering to this devil. Make good your escape. I cannot release myself from this demon's clutches. After recovering Sita and the throne of Ayodhya, always remember me there." Already torn by anguish due to having allowed Sita to be captured, Lakshman was overcome by the demon. Rama replied to his distraught brother, "Do not yield to fear, O Lakshman. A man like you should never feel dejected." The massive Rakshasa pulled the brothers towards him. "Who are you two with shoulders like those of bulls, dressed like ascetics, yet wielding swords and large bows?" He boomed. "By the will of Providence, you have fallen within the range of my sight at a time when I stand oppressed by hunger. Your life is now of short duration." Rama felt despair. What would happen next? What would happen next? Was there no end to his suffering? He called out to Lakshman, "Powerful indeed is destiny. Calamity upon calamity is heaped upon us. We are now threatened with death even before we could find the beautiful Sita. What should be done now?" The demon spoke again. "Today you too shall serve as my food. Exert yourself if you have any strength." Lakshman, who had gathered himself together, became infuriated. He shouted to Rama, "The strength of this repulsive demon lies in his arms alone. Let us quickly cut off his vast arms with our swords." As Lakshman spoke, the Rakshasa sword and opened his mouth wide. He began drawing the brothers towards him. Without delay, they both brought their swords down upon his arms with great force. The razor-sharp weapon sliced through the demon's flesh, and his arms fell upon the ground, releasing Ram and Lakshman, emitting a terrible billowing scream which echoed for miles. The demon slumped back, bathed in a stream of blood which gushed from the stumps of his arms. He called out to the princess, "Who are you?" Lakshman replied, "We are two sons of Dasharatha in the line of Ikshvaku. This is Rama and I am Lakshman. We are here at the behest of our noble father. While my mighty brother wandered in the forest, his consort was stolen away by a Rakshasa whom we now seek. But who are you? Why do you reside in this forest in such a form with a flaming mouth in your belly?" The demon
Hare
became
Krishna.
joyful.
Ji?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Bharava Prabhu, you can continue reading. The demon became joyful.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji. The
Hare
demon
Krishna.
became joyful upon hearing Lakshmana speak. "Welcome, O tigers among men. It is my good luck that I see you here today. By good fortune only have my arms been severed by you." The Rakshasa, whose name was Kabanda, told the brothers his story. He had previously been a Gandharva. Once, out of pride in his divine beauty, he had laughed at a rishi named uh, Ashtavakra, whose body is bent in 8 places. In order to free Kabanda from his pride, the rishi had pronounced a curse, turning the Gandharva into a Rakshasa. Kabanda had begged for mercy, and the rishi had said, When Rama and Lakshmana cremate you in a lonely forest, only then shall you be released from my curse. Kabanda continued. In the form of Rakshasa, I ranged the forest. After once performing severe asceticism, I received from Brahma the boon of a long life. Then, becoming fearless, I then challenged Indra in battle. That invincible god hurled his thunderbolt at me. It hit me and forced my head, arms, and legs into my trunk. Although I begged him, Indra would not kill me, saying, wounds of let the words of Brahma prove true. I asked Indra now, I could survive in such a form, a mere trunk with no head and limbs. Out of compassion, he gave me these two arms and this huge mouth. He then said, when Rama and Lakshmana sever your arms, you will ascend to heaven. Thus have I sat here, stretching out my arms and pulling into my mouth lions, leopards, bears, tigers, and deer. I always thought to myself, one day Rama and Lakshmana will fall within my grip. Kavanda implored the princess to throw him in pit and cremate him. Rama asked that he, he first tell them if he knew anything about Sita's whereabouts. He said to Rakshasa, we only know the name of Sita's abductor. We do not know where he lives, not even his appearance. Kabanda said he would be able to give them good advice as soon as he could assume his original celestial form, because only then would he be possessed of his former divine intelligence. The brothers dug a great pit next to the demon and placed in it many logs. They pushed Kabanda into the pit and set fire to the logs. As the Rakshasa's body burned, he looked like a large lump of ghee with fat running down on all sides. Suddenly, from the pit, there arose a shining personality dressed in blazing yellow garments and wearing a bright garland. A splendid aerial chariot drawn by swans also appeared, and Kabanda took his seat on it. He then spoke to Rama, O Raghava, I shall now tell you how you shall recover Sita. One who has fallen upon misfortune is served by another in the same circumstance. You must befriend someone who has suffered a similar fate as you.
Hare
Kavanda
Krishna.
told Rama.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. So this is very interesting, you know. So what is this kabanda? Because one lesson we always learn is even when the Lord kills someone, right? And that's true even for a devotee. Whether the Lord or his devotees curses or even punishes someone, it is for their benefit, right? So many instances we know of Nalukvera, Manikriva, they were cursed by Narada Muni, right? In all situations, it is for the benefit of the person who is receiving the curse also. That's the one learning you always know. Secondly, this Kabanda is also telling, you know, you must befriend someone who has suffered a similar fate as you. So typically, Lord Ram knows everything, right? He knows the past, the present, and the future. But yet we see here that Lord Ram is giving opportunities for so many people to serve him. Whether it is Jatayu, whether it is Kabanda, who's also telling the whereabouts of who kidnapped, but he was not able to say that this Ravana was from Lanka or whatever. But he gives direction to meet someone. That person is Sugriva. So Sugriva is also, his brother Vali has captured his wife, has taken him out of the kingdom and threw him out and all that, right? So he's saying he's directing him to Sugriva, who will be able to help him. All right, last section we'll ask Anusha Madji to just read 2-3 paragraphs, and then we'll end for today. Okay, let me share my screen. Let's quickly see what Kabanda advises our Lord Ram. Yeah. Yes, Anusha Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranams. Katha told Rama that he should seek out the monkey Sugriva. This monkey lived on a nearby mountain with 4 friends. He was powerful, intelligent, cultured, and true to his promise. His enraged brother Vali had exiled him for the sake of sovereignty, and he was in need of help. By forming a pact with Sugriva, Rama would render him good, and in return, the monkey would assist Rama in finding Sita. Kavanda went on. Having restored the kingdom to Sugriva, the monkey will send out thousands of his followers to search every part of the world. O Rama, even if your wife has been taken to the highest or lowest planet, she will be found and returned to you with Sugriva's help. Kabanda then told Rama how he could find Sugriva. With his divine vision, the Gandharva could see exactly what Rama would encounter, and he told him in detail. Rama would meet with the monkeys near the hermitage of Rishi Matanga on the side of the lake Pampa, where there now lived only an old ascetic lady named Sabari. After explaining everything, Kabanda remained in the sky, shining like the sun. Rama thanked him and said, Please depart now for your own abode. You have rendered me excellent service. Kabanda bowed his head and offered prayers to the brothers, recognizing who they were. His golden chariot then rose upwards. As he disappeared into the skies, the Gandharva called out, Enter an alliance with Sugriva. Rama and
Hare Krishna.
Lakshmana.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Very
Mataji.
good.
Hare
So we have time for that much only today, as we're nearing 12 o'clock. So we'll end with Harinam Sankirtan. So now Sugriva is getting an opportunity to serve Lord Ram, and he will not meet Sugriva directly. First, he will meet up with Hanumanji. Sugriva will send Hanuman. Who are these two people who are dressed as ascetics and who are glowing? And then Hanumanji will also disguise himself and come and check out who these two personalities are. And this is the first time and the last time that Hanuman will tell Lord Ram or introduce himself as a servant of Sugriva. And this he will regret till the end of his life. Right? After that, he will always call himself Ramadas, right? But this is the first instance, on the only instance, which Hanumanji also regrets, that he introduced himself to Lord Ram as the servant of Sugriva. So with that, we end our study of Ramayana today. We'll meet on Monday, and tomorrow is the return of Rath Yatra. So we can meet for Brahma Muhurta chanting at 4:30 a.m. as we start with Shikshashtakam prayers. Day after tomorrow is the most auspicious Ashadha Ekadashi, also called Dev Shaini Ekadashi. It also marks the beginning of Chaturmasya, right? The 4 months where we're going to start with the fasting from shak or green leafy vegetables for the first month of Chaturmas. So happy fasting. Fasting means automatically the corollary is more feasting. What is feasting? Feasting on chanting more rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya 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 Sita Ram Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Gurudev, Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So there's a different Zoom ID that we will meet on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. So please do join us at 11:30 a.m. for the special Ashadha Ekadashi session where we'll go through the Ekadashi Mahatmya, chant one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then we will also sing Gopi Geet for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. Please do join us at 11:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time on the Zoom ID that's specified. So let's have a quick darshan of devotees here. Subara Prabhu is there, Kripamai, Sita Devi Mataji, our dear Karpagavali Mataji is there. Shobha Mataji is there, Harjeet Mataji, Anusha Mataji, and all the devotees. Okay, Rajneesh Prabhu is there. Thank you, devotees. Okay, Sarva Gopeshwari Mataji, Nagavini Mataji, Deval Mataji, Sudha Mataji, and all the devotees who are not switching on your cameras. It's okay. We thank you for joining in and participating in this wonderful study of Ramayana. And Namesh Prabhu ki Jai. So also having darshan of Namesh Prabhu. So we'll end our session on this note. We'll meet tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. for our Shikshashtakam prayers. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Granth Raj, Srimad